You gaze into the mirror, catching a glimpse of gray hairs, and your first thought is probably, "It's just my age." But what if that familiar gray could be reversed, not with harsh chemicals, but by gently helping your body recall its innate vibrancy? What if you could experience a remarkable shift similar to the amazing transformation you're about to witness from someone who went from this to this? This isn't just wishful thinking, it's a profound revelation we're uncovering today. Welcome back to our segment on senior health, where ancient Japanese wisdom meets cutting-edge science. In this captivating discussion, we're challenging the very notion of aging, exploring a truth that has brought natural color back to the hair of thousands of seniors, proving that graying may not be the inevitable permanent path you once believed. The journey we're embarking on challenges widespread beliefs. For instance, a recent study highlighted in the eLife journal presented compelling evidence. Under specific conditions, human hair can actually regain its natural pigmentation. This groundbreaking discovery hints that graying might not be as permanent or purely age-related as we've always been led to believe. Yet countless individuals over 60 are still dismissed, told that gray hair is simply an unavoidable part of getting older, or even worse, that it's merely a cosmetic issue not worth understanding at a deeper level. This widespread misunderstanding overlooks the body's incredible capacity for renewal. To guide us through this intricate topic, we're honored to have with us today someone truly extraordinary, Japan's oldest practicing doctor. He is a centenarian who embodies what it means to age with vitality, still treating patients with razor-sharp vision, incredibly steady hands, and remarkably, a full head of vibrant hair even past the age of 100. His life is a living testament to blending profound clinical expertise with invaluable cultural wisdom, constantly challenging nearly every assumption we hold about the aging process itself. As our esteemed doctor eloquently poses, if our hair once held color, why do we so readily accept that it can never reclaim it? Far too many people, he observes, have come to view graying as an irreversible, one-way journey. He argues that modern thinking makes a significant error by treating gray hair solely as a marker of decline. From his vast experience spanning generations of patients, graying is rarely just a cosmetic change, it's often a crucial signal. It's a whisper from the body, indicating that something deeper is subtly shifting, usually in silence beneath the surface. While age undoubtedly plays a part, it's certainly not the entire story. In our upcoming conversation, we will meticulously unpack the true causes behind gray hair and, more importantly, discover what genuine actions can truly help bring that cherished color back. We will meticulously investigate 5 key drivers of graying that are commonly overlooked, ranging from the subtle shifts in our stress chemistry to vital missing nutrients our bodies crave. He will then walk you through surprisingly simple yet profoundly effective food and lifestyle adjustments, the very ones he continues to apply in his own life even today, demonstrating their enduring power. However, it's absolutely crucial that you stay with us through the entirety of this discussion, because the final groundbreaking insight shared will undoubtedly transform your entire perception of both aging and beauty. Often, the visible symptoms merely scratch the surface. If we misunderstand the underlying cause, we inadvertently waste effort pursuing the wrong solutions. He will guide us through 5 root causes, offering a clear, actionable roadmap, moving away from confusion, because hair color, ultimately, isn't just about mere vanity. It's a powerful reflection of your deep-seated vitality. He recounts a deeply personal story from his early days as a young intern. He vividly remembers a woman in her late 60s who initially sought help for joint pain, but whose primary concern, almost whispered, was about her hair. It had turned almost entirely gray virtually overnight, she explained, right after her husband's passing. He recalls her tenderly brushing her hair behind her ear, a gesture laced with a profound sense of shame, as if the grayness implied she had somehow let herself go. Her haunting question echoed, "Do you think it can ever come back?" It wasn't merely a query about hair color, but a longing for that vibrant part of her soul that still yearned to feel truly alive. That poignant moment profoundly impacted him, shaping his entire career. He believes with unwavering conviction that the body possesses an inherent language, often speaking truths the heart struggles to articulate. And sometimes the hair itself carries a powerful narrative the soul isn't quite finished telling. Let's now delve into the first common misconception. Many wonder if gray hair is simply due to missing nutrients, or if that's merely a convenient assumption. While nutrients are indeed fundamentally important, they don't work in the simplistic way most people imagine. Our bodies don't just run out of vitamins like a car running out of fuel. Instead, they often struggle with processing, absorbing, or effectively circulating these vital nutrients to the specific areas where they are most critically needed. When this essential bodily function begins to falter, hair color frequently becomes one of the earliest signals, rather than being the final or sole problem. Therefore, the solution isn't merely about taking more supplements, it's about asking the much deeper question of why the body isn't able to fully utilize the nutrients it already has or receives. This insight is critical, as many patients, he notes, have cabinets overflowing with supplements yet lack true vitality. This is because if your digestion is compromised or your stress hormones are chronically elevated, those very nutrients can remain effectively locked away, unused, and ultimately unhelpful. They must be efficiently carried by the blood and then gracefully accepted by the cells, a process of cellular acceptance that subtly yet significantly alters as we advance in age. Indeed, for individuals over 60, cells require not just nutrients, but clarity, because a body operating in a state of confusion will simply not prioritize something like hair pigmentation. This powerful revelation often strikes a chord, especially since many seniors strive their absolute best, conscientiously eating well and exercising regularly, yet frustratingly witness the relentless spread of gray hair, feeling as if their efforts yield no results. Such a feeling can be incredibly defeating. So, to approach this effectively, let's precisely identify the actual causes, those subtle overlooked factors that could be quietly draining your hair color and simultaneously making its restoration feel profoundly challenging. Our journey begins with the first crucial root cause: chronic stress. While most people readily acknowledge that stress can profoundly impact heart health, digestion, and even sleep quality, very few truly grasp its intricate effects on hair. When our bodies are subjected to relentless, repeated stress, they produce heightened levels of both cortisol and, internally, hydrogen peroxide. An excess of hydrogen peroxide acts like an internal bleach, quite literally stripping the hair of its precious pigment from the inside out. This isn't just a bizarre theory, it's a tangible biological process. The notion of our own bodies internally bleaching their hair might sound astounding, yet it's not at all rare. The doctor has witnessed this phenomenon repeatedly after profound life events such as grief, surgical procedures, and even during major transitions like retirement, moments where identity undergoes a significant shift and the nervous system struggles to regain its balance. Patients might confidently declare, "I feel perfectly fine," but their hair often tells an entirely different narrative, revealing the unseen burden of unacknowledged stress they unknowingly carry. The body, in its profound wisdom, always finds a way to speak its truth. The adrenal glands, tiny powerhouses situated above the kidneys, don't merely respond to emergencies, they meticulously track everything: pressure, emotional states, and even suppressed tension. When these glands are overactivated for extended periods, they release a complex mix of compounds, including not only cortisol, but also enzymes specifically designed to disrupt pigment production. In Japan, this subtle yet destructive process is often referred to as silent fire, a stress that doesn't loudly shout for attention, but rather quietly smolders, slowly consuming from within. Over time, this chronic internal fire alters the normal behavior of melanocytes, the very cells fundamentally responsible for hair pigment. If these melanocytes are disrupted for a sufficiently long duration, they can slow down, cease functioning entirely, or even eventually perish. Thus, stress transcends mere emotion. It is a palpable biological and chemical phenomenon, visibly manifesting, and crucially, it is reversible, but only when we address it from its profound internal source, ensuring the nervous system can truly feel safe once more. This concept of safety, beautifully observed, isn't something that can simply be ingested as a pill. It is a holistic state cultivated through mindful rhythms, conscious breathing, nourishing meals, and sufficient restorative rest. Having thoroughly explored chronic stress, let us now shift our focus to the second pivotal factor quietly contributing to hair graying: oxidative damage. More specifically, we need to understand how your body manages free radicals once you've passed the age of 60. In younger individuals, the body boasts robust natural defenses, powerful antioxidant systems that effectively neutralize these detrimental molecules before they can wreak havoc on cellular functions. However, beyond 60, these critical defenses naturally begin to wane. This weakening is often accelerated by dietary choices, particularly the consumption of processed foods, a sedentary indoor lifestyle, or chronic exposure to pollution and certain medications. As oxidative stress accumulates, it directly targets the melanocytes, those specialized cells responsible for producing hair pigment, slowly, inexorably shutting them down. What makes this decline particularly insidious is that it's often progressing silently, long before the first telltale gray hairs make their appearance. By the time you actually observe the color fading, significant damage has frequently been accumulating for many years. It's not an abrupt transformation, but rather a subtle, persistent erosion that most people remain unaware is intimately linked to their daily food choices or surrounding environment. This creates a kind of hidden trap, as oxidative stress doesn't present with an obvious warning signal like a pounding headache. There's no immediate alarm bell, which is precisely why focused nutrition becomes exponentially more vital after the age of 60. Foods brimming with antioxidants, such as vibrant purple sweet potatoes, deep green leafy vegetables, nourishing seaweeds, and calming green tea, transition from being merely healthy options to absolute essentials. They are not merely healthy extras. They are the fundamental raw materials your body absolutely requires to facilitate its intricate repair processes. Without them, your mitochondria, the microscopic energy factories within your cells, begin to falter and misfire. And when these vital tiny engines start to stall, the intricate system of pigment production is often one of the very first biological processes to gracefully go offline. Remarkable instances have been observed where patients have successfully regained a notable degree of hair vitality within mere months, simply by significantly increasing their intake of these powerful foods while simultaneously reducing processed sugars and unhealthy oils. However, the efficacy of this change hinges entirely on its daily, unwavering consistency. Ultimately, this approach is about consciously providing your body with the sophisticated tools it once effortlessly manufactured on its own, but can no longer produce quite so efficiently. The older we become, the more imperative it is to enter into a proactive partnership with our bodies, rather than relentlessly pushing them beyond their current capacity. This paradigm shift profoundly redefines our perspective on aging. It's not about meekly accepting a perceived weakness. Rather, it's about strategically adjusting and bolstering our body's intricate support system. If hair is fading, perhaps the deeper truth lies not in what's missing, but in what's overwhelming the body's natural balance. Following our discussion on stress and oxidation, let us now consider the third subtle yet profound pattern that silently robs seniors of their natural hair color: digestion. After the age of 60, the gut inherently becomes more selective, often more reactive, and typically less efficient in its complex operations. If your microbiome, the delicate ecosystem of beneficial bacteria in your gut, is out of balance, or if you're not properly absorbing vital trace minerals like copper and zinc, even the most meticulously prepared, healthy meals can tragically fall short of their potential. When these critical building blocks are insufficient or unavailable, melanin production naturally decelerates. This isn't because you're failing to eat enough, but precisely because your body simply cannot effectively utilize what it's being provided. This reminds one of patients who meticulously consume all the right foods, colorful, nutrient-dense plates, an abundance of vegetables, yet still exhibit clear signs of nutrient deficiency. Upon deeper investigation, chronic gut inflammation, obstructing nutrient absorption, is often found to be the culprit. This observation resonates strongly in places like Japan too, particularly among seniors who may have undergone prolonged antibiotic treatments or whose diets throughout decades have been significantly lacking in essential fiber. In such cases, the delicate balance of their gut has been severely compromised, and the body eventually bears the tangible consequences. Consequently, even foods rich in nutrients lose their fundamental meaning if proper absorption is lacking. This is precisely where fermented foods ascend to paramount importance. They actively retrain the gut, enhancing its capacity to both digest and efficiently deliver nutrients throughout the body. This realization adds an entirely new, critical dimension to our approach to combating gray hair, because most individuals rarely connect their gut microbiome to what they observe in the mirror. Yet the profound insight here is that the overall health of your gut visibly manifests in the vibrant health of your hair. Now that we've deeply explored the influences of stress, oxidation, and digestion, let's unveil one more hidden trigger that seniors, in particular, must carefully watch for: mineral imbalance, with a specific emphasis on copper. Most people instinctively associate copper with industrial applications like wiring or cookware, but from a biological perspective, it holds an absolutely critical role. Copper is indispensable for actively stimulating the enzyme tyrosinase, which is the direct producer of melanin, the very pigment that colors our hair. Without sufficient copper, even if your body possesses the desire to create pigment, it fundamentally cannot complete the essential enzymatic process. Furthermore, as individuals pass the age of 60, copper absorption naturally diminishes, a decline frequently exacerbated by diets heavy in calcium or by the inadvertent consequences of unbalanced supplementation. This crucial piece of information is regrettably seldom discussed in conventional mainstream medicine, where zinc often garners nearly all the attention, while copper, though quietly essential, remains largely overlooked. Yet, the precise balance between zinc and copper is of immense significance. An excessive intake of zinc, for example, can inadvertently suppress copper levels even further. It has been observed that patients conscientiously taking immune-boosting zinc supplements daily were, without realizing it, unknowingly accelerating the graying of their hair. This highlights a critical lesson. It's not simply about what you ingest, but equally vital is how that substance interacts within the complex alchemy of your body. Indeed, every single mineral introduced influences the delicate balance of all the others. This serves as a vital warning, particularly for seniors who diligently pursue what they perceive as healthy practices, supplementing with zinc, reducing meat intake, opting for lighter meals, yet without full awareness, may inadvertently be depleting crucial minerals such as copper, unknowingly undermining their hair health in the process. Having meticulously covered the 4 primary blockers: chronic stress, oxidative damage, compromised digestion, and specific mineral imbalances, perhaps now is the perfect moment to shift our focus. If these factors act as barriers to hair health, then what exactly are the powerful builders? What are the consistent habits and vital nutrients that genuinely help usher natural color back into our hair? Let's begin by establishing the unshakable foundations, because the journey to reversing gray hair is never about flawlessly executing one singular action, but rather about the consistent, steadfast application of numerous small, intentional practices. The very first foundational element, vital for any serious restorative strategy, is the integration of fermented foods. Traditional staples like natto, miso, and tempeh are the daily instruments recommended to older patients for actively repairing the gut lining and restoring optimal mineral absorption. These incredible foods don't merely enhance digestion, they play a crucial role in activating essential trace elements such as copper and zinc, which are absolutely paramount for robust hair pigmentation. Without a robust and thriving gut, no strategy aimed at restoring hair pigment will yield lasting results. This truth is widely overlooked. Many would sooner change their shampoo than critically reevaluate their breakfast choices. Yet the profound insight shared here is that the health of your gut literally sets the stage for your entire body's well-being. Once this critical gut foundation is actively addressed, we seamlessly transition to the second indispensable tool: mushrooms. Varieties like shiitake and maitake, and even common button mushrooms, contain the crucial enzyme tyrosinase, the very compound your body absolutely requires to ignite melanin production. When consumed regularly, These mushrooms act as a powerful internal ignition switch for your hair's natural pigment creating process. This directly links back to our earlier discussion about copper, as tyrosinase cannot effectively function without it. Therefore, mushrooms directly support this enzyme, while a healthy gut diligently ensures the delivery of the necessary minerals required to activate it. This is why these ingredients are revered not as fleeting trends, but as potent medicine, meticulously passed down through generations of tradition. This holistic approach empowers individuals with valuable elements to add to their lives, rather than focusing solely on things to remove. The third profoundly impactful habit which he passionately advocates for is sunlight, not intense, scorching sun, but gentle, consistent exposure, especially to the soft light of the early morning. This ritual is fundamentally essential for regulating our body's crucial circadian rhythm, which in turn orchestrates our hormone balance and governs our intricate stress chemistry. As systemic stress levels naturally decrease, the pigment pathways in our hair often begin to stabilize and regain their function. This is a potent concept. We typically view sunlight primarily through the lens of skin health, but this perspective reveals its deeper influence on our entire hormonal system. Specifically, it profoundly affects the hypothalamus and adrenal glands, which are direct influencers of internal hydrogen peroxide levels. When these systems are allowed to calm down, that internal bleaching process gradually ceases. So, in essence, a simple act like embracing morning light is akin to sending a comforting message to your body. You are safe. You can now prioritize restoration. Following this, the fourth essential habit, meticulously practiced by the doctor every evening, is consuming mineral-rich broth. This could be nourishing seaweed broth, traditionally known as ku, or a slowly simmered chicken bone broth. These restorative broths are invaluable for replenishing depleted minerals, actively reducing widespread inflammation, and gently enhancing vital blood flow to the scalp, an often overlooked area. A small, warm cup enjoyed about an hour before sleep is the perfect calming ritual. This habit is both entirely achievable and deeply comforting, marrying profound nutrition with a calming evening ritual. And finally, the fifth cornerstone is breath. Engaging in deep, slow, belly-based breathing techniques both before meals and especially before sleep profoundly resets the nervous system, effectively drawing the body out of its perpetual fight-or-flight state. As we've extensively discussed, remaining in a state of chronic stress is one of the most rapid ways for hair to lose its natural pigment. As the often repeated wisdom reminds us, the body cannot genuinely heal when it's constantly braced for impact. A calm body diligently digests, efficiently absorbs, and thoroughly repairs. Conversely, a perpetually stressed body is perpetually focused solely on survival. Everything discussed beautifully interconnects, from the fermented foods and nourishing broths to the revitalizing mushrooms and conscious breath. It's not about fleeting quick fixes, but rather about establishing slow, steady, and intentional rhythms that meticulously rebuild what the relentless passage of time might have otherwise weakened. This naturally brings us to a frequently asked question: what about genetics? For those who often declare, "Gray hair runs in my family," is there truly still hope to slow or even reverse it? Genetics undeniably play a significant role, but they are absolutely not a predetermined verdict. What often appears to run in families is, more accurately, a complex interplay of shared habits, similar environmental exposures, and deeply ingrained, unexamined beliefs. There have been countless patients from families with generations of early graying who have still managed to significantly slow or even successfully reverse the process simply by making the right, deliberate adjustments. So yes, the genes may load the gun, but it's undoubtedly lifestyle that ultimately pulls the trigger. This distinction holds immense power because it returns the control and agency squarely back to the individual. What we inherit is merely our starting point. How we consciously choose to live moment by moment fundamentally determines what those genes will ultimately express. This empowering message is desperately needed by so many seniors, particularly those who have reluctantly resigned themselves to decline because of a perceived unchangeable family history. The most profound shifts occur when a person moves beyond asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and instead courageously asks, What is my body genuinely asking for? That courageous shift marks the true beginning of profound healing. Even if hair doesn't completely revert to its original dark color, what is repeatedly observed is a transformative glow. Their skin gains clarity, their eyes sparkle brighter, and they stand taller with renewed confidence, precisely because they are no longer waging a futile battle against time. Instead, they are intelligently partnering with it. This perspective on aging, as a collaborative partnership rather than an inevitable punishment, is truly beautiful, and the ensuing results extend far beyond mere cosmetics. When the body initiates the remarkable process of restoring hair, it often signifies a deeper systemic restoration occurring within its core systems. Indeed, it's rarely just about the hair. It's intricately connected to improved circulation, enhanced memory, optimized digestion, and even a renewed sense of personal confidence. Many are often curious. How long does this transformation typically take? If someone embarks on these lifestyle changes today, when might they realistically begin to see results? The outcomes naturally vary from person to person, but the body often begins to offer encouraging signals long before any changes are visible in the mirror. Within just 2 to 3 weeks, many individuals report experiencing better sleep quality, smoother digestion, or significantly clearer thinking. Visible pigment changes in the hair itself usually require a bit more patience, often manifesting within 2 to 4 months, sometimes longer. Yet when it does occur, the returning color typically appears at the roots first. Soft, dark strands quietly emerging in areas people had long given up for lost. This insight is incredibly encouraging, reinforcing the idea that the hair follicle isn't truly dead. It has simply been dormant, and one can only imagine the surge of hope and renewed vitality that first glimpse of returning color can inspire. In a way no medical pill could ever possibly achieve, it truly touches the soul. He remembers a 72-year-old patient who openly wept upon seeing dark strands reappear at her temples. Her tears weren't born of vanity, but from an overwhelming sense of feeling genuinely alive once more. This speaks to the often missed emotional layer of hair. It's profoundly personal, interwoven with memory, identity, and an intrinsic sense of pride, particularly for those who have spent decades selflessly caring for others. It is precisely why every single step we undertake towards restoring it must emanate from a place of deep respect and understanding, never from panic or superficiality. The entire topic of gray hair is profoundly reframed here. What might initially present as a superficial question about outward appearance quickly becomes a powerful doorway into understanding the body's innate, miraculous capacity for self-repair, or conversely, its struggle to do so. This leads us to one final, deeply philosophical thought. We have meticulously covered dietary choices, optimal rest strategies, and key things to avoid. But how much, truly, does our mindset, our inherent outlook and attitude profoundly shape this entire transformative journey? The answer is unequivocal. Mindset is everything. Because no matter how meticulously perfect your diet or daily routine might be, if your thoughts are continuously clouded by fear, pervasive doubt, or an overarching sense of hopelessness, your body, in its intricate wisdom, unfailingly listens. There are patients who meticulously followed every recommendation, doing everything right on paper, yet experienced no tangible change until they genuinely believed that change was not only possible but within their grasp. That powerful belief has the profound ability to fundamentally shift our very chemistry. It transmits an undeniable signal to the nervous system, essentially declaring, "We are now safe enough to confidently rebuild." It is profoundly observed that some individuals experience sudden graying following intense grief, while others surprisingly regain color after periods of immense joy. This isn't a mystical occurrence, it is pure biology, responding in real time to the intricate nuances of emotion. Indeed, joy is potent medicine, and hope triggers a powerful chemical reaction within us. When you pair this internal conviction with steady, consistent action, the body begins to truly trust again. This foundational trust is such a beautiful point to conclude on, because while the hair might appear to be the symptom, what we are ultimately discussing at its core is the profound journey of learning how to truly live again. To everyone who has listened and stayed with us through this illuminating journey, we extend our deepest gratitude.